Question. Can I use meditation to help deal with constant stress, anxiety, and self-consciousness to be more courageous and more at peace with myself? I think I answer a lot of these in my videos on why everyone should meditate. So I'm not going to go into much detail there. If you want an answer to some of these things like stress, anxiety, being at peace with yourself, I think the obvious and short answer is that yes, that's really what meditation is for. If you want to find more information about that, you can check out my videos. One aspect of what you're asking is the self-consciousness and the courage, which is a question I actually do get a lot, and it has to be answered, I think, a little bit differently, because courage does play an important part in Buddhism. Courage is something that comes from being a moral person. It's something that comes from being a wise person. The Buddha outlined several key elements. They're called the Youre. They are things that tend to lead to courage, and they're things like morality. If you're a moral person, then it makes you courageous. If you're a wise person, it makes you courageous. If you're an energetic person, it makes you courageous. There are several there, and it's basically good qualities of the mind. So the practice of meditation does make you more courageous. But I think the more important in the long term is to give up your attachment to self and your thought that you have to be assertive and you have to get your way and you have to be able to stand up for yourself and so on, because this has to do with the self, and this is not the way of Buddhism. In Buddhism, we're teaching to give up the self, so that you tend to accept things more than trying to be in charge and control, and so on. The best way to overcome self-consciousness and timidity is to let go of your fear and let go of your attachment to self. Let go of the idea that somehow it's important to be something, or to be to be in other people's esteem, because then your happiness is always dependent on other people. It's dependent on what they think of you. It's dependent on external stimulus. If you're afraid, this is looking at things from the outside in. In Buddhism, all we do is change that and look at things from the inside out. So instead of saying, "Oh, I'm in front of a large crowd of people and they're looking at me," and so on, you start from within and you look at how you're experiencing reality. When you feel scared, you say scared, scared. When you feel butterflies in the stomach, you say you're feeling, and you just look at that. From the very start, before you even feel afraid, you're looking at the people and you say to yourself, seeing. And you walk out on stage, walking. When people attack you or so on, you start from the point of view of experience, and you let go of the idea that there's any person attacking you. Once you start from the point of experience, hearing them, saying something, seeing them, feeling the emotions in the body, then you'll be able to take an inside-out approach from the inside out. So you'll develop your reactions based on what's really happening, what's really going on in your world. When you say things to them, it'll be based on rational, scientific almost experience. So you'll be able to give them wisdom. You'll be able to help them to understand what's going on. You'll bring things back into focus. So I wouldn't get off track there trying to think that somehow you have to be brave, or you have to be sure of yourself and so on. The surety comes from letting go of the self. When you become sure of reality, you become in tune with reality. You don't become some all confident, self-confident person. You become confident based on knowing the way things are, and the idea that no one can hurt you. You gain this understanding that no one can hurt you, because there's no you to hurt. If they hit you, they're hitting the physical reality, or the physical manifestation of the body. If they yell at you, then they're just creating sound that's vibrating at the ear and so on. So you become immune to all suffering, all difficulty. And you lose all sense of self-consciousness, like, oh, that was stupid of me to do, or so on. You come to see that it arose because of cause and effect, and you say, oh, that arose based on not being mindful, having a clear mind, and you see that it was just a cause and effect. You see that it's in the past and that you can't change it, and you worry more about what's happening right here and now, because that's where the intervention, where the mind can actually intervene in the process of creation. Okay, so I hope that helps. Please do check out my other videos, and wish you all the best in your practice.